very, very well put together.
The funding received by
Now,
Indian
there
startups in
are a few
February,
things we want to talk about
$1.65
once you
billion.
get to the
dollars.
bottom
This
of
brings
this. Once you get
total
to the
funding
bottom, you
in
have some options:
FY
share,
25 to
rewrite,
25 billion dollars spread
copy,
across
edit,
2,200
and
rounds.
view sources and
The
report.
February figure
So first thing I
marks a
want to do is talk about share.
19.5%
The
uptick
share
from
button down here, at least
$1.38
for
billion
me, doesn't
dollars
appear
in
to work
total
well. If you
funding
click on it,
in January
all it says
25.
is link copied. You see it says link
The
copied
area
there,
burned by forest
but
fires
it's
near
not as robust
Ofunato in
as
Japan,
coming up and to the right
2,100
to
in
the
hectares,
share
more than
area here.
2,000
If you come up and to the
firefighters are
right, you see
battling
the button that says
Japan's
share. Click
biggest
on that.
forest
This
fire in
gives you a
3
lot more you
decades
can do.
has spawned
So notice here you've got your
4,600
view
residents,
access.
leaving
Right now
hundreds
it's
evacuation
shareable because we clicked on share.
advisory.
Normally it's secret, only the author can view. You can change it, by the way. Click on
Firefighters
secret,
under
it's
the
secret.
14
Click on shareable,
Japanese
it's shareable.
regions
Real easy.
were
If you
tackling
want to
the
share it on
blaze.
other platforms, you can.
Asylum
Twitter,
applications
WhatsApp,
in EU,
copy
Norway,
links. You can
and
just copy the
Switzerland
link all
last year
up, or Facebook. So maybe I
$1.1
want to share
million.
on
The
Twitter. I've
European
got a Twitter
Union's
account,
Asylum
and
Agency
there it
on
is.
Monday
Ta-da.
released its
So I can do
annual
it that way
report
if I
for the
want, and it
27
automatically
nation
gets
bloc,
a.
plus Norway and
Well, I guess
Switzerland.
it's called X now,
The
but it automatically
applications
gets a
made
post ready.
were 11% lower than the
So
previous
very,
year.
very easy stuff.
Germany continues to
Also,
be
now that you
by
copy the
far
link,
the
you can
main
share
country
that link
sought
with
by
someone so that
asylum
they can
seekers.
come and look at
Number
your
of dolphins in
conversation, which is
Indian
very nice.
rivers as
That's why
per
we'd
the
share these
estimation
things
report,
so someone else can see your conversation.
6,300. The
Now, keep in
report was
mind
released by the
that
Prime
your
Minister Narendra
conversation, well, let
Modi
me show you.
on
So if I
Monday
copy
at
the
the
link,
7th meeting
and
of the
then
National Board for
let
Wildlife.
me open an incognito window here so you can
How
see
is
it,
China's foreign policy
the way
structured?
someone else would
What are
see
the
it
two
just coming
main
in
decision
fresh.
making bodies
So if
with
I
respect to
paste
China's
this
foreign
link,
policy? And what is the
it's going
role
to show
of
me all
International
the what is a penguin stuff,
Department of
right?
Communist Party of China?
Here's
Has
the
the
thing you want to
Ministry of
keep in
Foreign
mind though.
Affairs
Check this out. So
been
if I now come
increasing in
back
stature in
here
China?
and I do a follow-up
During
question
his
like,
visit to China in January, Foreign Secretary
what
Vikram Misri
are
had
their
separate
mating
meetings with
habits?
Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Su
And so
Bidong,
I do
with
some
Foreign
follow-up
Minister
and
Wang Yi,
it digs
who
into
is also
that.
the member of
Well, that link you had, so now let's go
Politburo of
take
the
a look
Communist
at the
Party of
link.
China, and
That
Liu
link we had, I'm going to
Jianchao, head
refresh,
of International Department of the CPC.
automatically
While in
updates. So you see
India, there is
here,
a clear
so that
distinction
link
between
will
the party and the
automatically
state.
update with the
In the
latest
Chinese
data
system,
that you
party and
have.
state bodies
Now,
are
this is
intermeshed,
way
with the
different
CPC
than
holding
what
the
you've
ultimate
seen with
authority over the
sharing
government.
with like large language models,
All the
particularly
top of the
ChatGPT. With
all
that,
political
it's a
decision making
snapshot
is
in
the
time.
Politburo
But this
Standing
thing,
Committee
once they
(PBSC).
have the link, they will get
Politburo
constant
Standing
updates
Committee,
to
while the
whatever you're doing here. Now, that can be
PBSC
good or bad. You get to
sets the
decide.
overall
But
policy
they're going to
direction. It
see
is the
what you're doing.
CPC,
They're going to
Central
see
Committees Foreign Affairs
the initial
Commission
question and any
(FAC), that takes
follow-on
charge
questions.
of
So keep
policy
that in mind.
coordination,
Pretty cool, actually. I'm pretty
interdepartmental
happy with that.
communications, and
Um,
actual decision making.
all right, continuing on.
Little information
So let's
is
see.
available
That was
about the
sharing.
membership
Now, rewrite. Rewrite is exactly
and
what it sounds
details
like. If
of
you're not happy with what
this
it
body.
spits out,
However,
you can
it is
click on
known
rewrite
that
and
the
it will
commission
rewrite
is
it for
headed by
you.
the Chinese President
And when you rewrite the answer, you get some
Xi
options.
Jinping,
You can
and
do
Li
Pro
Qiang as its
Search. You can
deputy
do
head.
Claude Sonnet 3.5, Sonar Large, GPT-4,
Secretarial and
Claude 3.
administrative
Oh, I've got my
services to this
Pro.
commission are
So these are
provided by
Pro
the
Search
Office of
items.
FAC. This office is
I
headed
could
by Wang
rewrite it in
Yi,
one of these
who
other models. I
concurrently
think it's
holds
going to
the
kick off
position
my
of
Pro and
China's
start
foreign
burning my Pro
minister.
credits. Yeah. So as soon as I do that, so rewrite is going to kick off your Pro. It's going to say, hey, you want to rewrite it?
The
You want to
daily
rewrite it?
workings
Not
of
a
the
problem.
organization
We'll
is
rewrite
managed
it
by
in
the
one of these
deputy
nice
director.
models, but you've got to be a
While the
Pro
above two are
subscriber. So keep
decision
that in
making
mind.
bodies,
All right, as we move to the
Politburo
right,
Standing
there's
Committees,
copy, which is pretty straightforward. If you want to copy this and paste it into wherever you want to paste it, Word doc, you're doing a paper or whatever, you can copy it,
it
take
is
it
the
wherever you need, and
Central
paste it.
CPC Central
And then
Committee
there's
of Foreign
this.
Affairs
I think
Commission
this is, of
that takes
all the
charge
things
of
I've seen
policy
since I've been working
coordination.
with Perplexity,
The
this is
main
the dumbest
organization
thing I've
engaged in
seen.
CPC's diplomatic
And that's
outreach
saying
is the
something because most
International
of this is
Liaison
really, really
Department of
good, smart
CPC Central
design.
Committee
But in order to edit your
(ITCPC). Liu
prompt, you
Jianchao,
have to go way down to the
ITCPC
bottom
head, is a
after everything's
former Foreign
done and
Ministry
come here to
spokesperson,
this button that
diplomat,
says edit
and
query.
official in the
And
Central
then that'll
Commission for
run you
Discipline
right back up to the
Inspection.
top. That's
Mr. Liu
really,
holds a provincial
really crappy
ministerial
design.
ranking, which
I should be
technically
able to
puts
edit
him
right here,
at
and then it
par
just
with
does
the
everything else.
ministers in the
But
state
here, then I can
council.
refine my
But
prompt if
because
I
of
want to. I won't
party-state
bother changing, but I
hierarchy, he
could change it if I
outranks
want
state
to,
ministers.
and it would,
The
press enter, and
IDCPC
it
has
would
been conducting the
update the
party's
prompt.
diplomatic outreach to political
Okay,
parties
I
across
think
the
that's it, except
ideological
for view
spectrum in more
sources, which
than
we, the
150
three
countries with
dots,
an
view
aim to
sources, which
supplement
we'd already talked about,
state-to-state
and
elections, but
report, which
also
we've also
to
already talked
increase
about.
the
So
international
that's
legitimacy of the
kind of the
CPC.
tour of the
It
interface
is organized in regional
at a
bureaus
high
like
level.
South
Now,
and
real quick, I
Southeastern
want you to
East
notice
Asian
something before we
affairs
leave.
that conducts
Notice on the
research on
left-hand
political
side,
conditions and
we've
maintains
got, our usual
contact with
stuff, home,
major
discover, and
parties and
library. But now under
organizations.
library, you have
Party-to-party
the
diplomacy has been
query
a
that you
key
ran.
tool
What
for
is a
the
penguin?
CPC in South
And as
Asia.
you do more
The
queries, more
IDCPC
of these
has
things are going
hosted
to show up. Let me
delegations for the
illustrate. So I'm
India's
going to go
major
home,
political parties
and I'm
too.
going to say something like,
Another important party
what
organization in
is
the realm of foreign policy is the
a
United Nations
platypus?
United Front Work Department, headed by the Politburo member of
I'm
Xi
just amazed I can spell
Kaifeng.
platypus. There we go.
It
What is a
also oversees
platypus?
narrative around ethnic minorities in Tibet
Duck-billed
and
beaver tail,
Xinjiang
blah, blah,
and
blah.
seeks
First
to
thing I like to
influence
do right away,
international
though,
messaging on
is as soon as I
China by
get an
reaching
output,
out
I
to
review my
intellectuals in
sources and make
foreign
sure I'm cool with
countries.
it. NOAA, Wikipedia,
Do they
Australia,
handle
National Geographic,
state-to-state
Britannica. Yeah,
diplomacy
those
as
are
well?
all solid sources,
Ministry
so
of
I'm
Foreign
good.
Affairs is an
That's the very
intergovernmental
first thing
body
I
and is
recommend you do. Check
constituent
those sources,
ministry
make sure
under the
you're happy
State
with them,
Council.
because
It is
if
headed by a
you start
foreign
digging through
minister
it
whose
and then you
position
find
has
out
fluctuated in the
you're using
party
a source you
hierarchy
didn't
over
want to
the
use,
decades.
it kind of
In the
sucks. So
early years of
review your
People's Republic
sources
of China,
first,
the ministry
then
was
dig into
headed
your
by a powerful
answers, right? And then,
Chinese
of course, we've got the
premier,
usual stuff of
Zhou
nice
Enlai,
little
but later saw
layout here,
decline in power and
our
influence.
details with
The MFA is
citations,
primarily
and on
responsible
it
for
goes.
implementation of foreign
Now,
policy decisions
that is
through
the
its
end of that. When
bureaucratic
you get
diplomatic
done with
corps.
the
Though
answer,
considered to be
after
the middle
that,
level
it
in
has
terms of
related
hierarchy, with
threads
little power to
that
give
you can
unique
do. How
perspective on
does the
foreign policy
platypus's
issues,
venom
it
spur
is the
work?
official
What do
interface of the
platypuses eat in the
Chinese
wild? So
state
it
with the rest
generates
of the
a
world.
set of
Through
follow-ons
its
that you might
statements
want
and
to
press
do. Now, you're
releases,
always
it
welcome to ask
communicates
your own
China's
follow-on down
positions
here
on
at the
various
bottom,
issues
or you
related
can
to
click
foreign
on one of
policy,
these
security,
follow-ons. I'm very
domestic
interested in the
politics,
platypus's
etc.
venom
Furthermore,
spur, so I'm going to
research
click on
shows that
that,
since
and
coming
it
to
just
power,
adds it as a
Xi
follow-on.
Jinping has
So
taken
it's
a
just a
keen
follow-on,
interest in
platypus
foreign
venom,
affairs,
produced in venom
increasing the
glands, blah,
status
blah,
of
blah, venom
MFA.
glands, rather,
He has
causes
also
extreme
said
pain, but is not
to
lethal. Well,
regularly
yeah,
summon
but it
foreign
hurts.
service bureaucrats and
And
serving
on and on and on it goes.
ambassadors
So,
for
very
direct
nice.
instructions and an
So
indication of a
really,
top
really
level
good,
design.
really
There are
solid in
other
terms of the
organizations
results you
like the
get
National
back.
Security
Very clear, very
Commission,
well
Chinese
organized.
People's Political
Just a
Consultative
really good
Conference,
product.
National People's
I'm
Conference,
happy to say.
etc., that have diplomatic
Okay,
component.
I think that does it
So
for our
while the
nice little tour. We
PBSC
did
sets the overall
output,
policy
sharing
direction,
the
it is the
output. Yep.
CPC
Okay.
Central
All
Committee
right. So now I want
Foreign
to shift
Affairs
gears a
Commission
little
that
bit.
takes charge
And let
of
me take a sip of
policy,
Youngling real quick. By the way,
coordination,
Youngling beer is the
interdepartmental
unofficial
communications and
sponsor
actual
of
decision making.
all my videos.
PBSC, Politburo Standing Committee.
I hope to make
It
them an
is the
official sponsor
CPC
someday.
Central Committee on Foreign Affairs
All
Commissions,
right, so
FAC,
here,
Foreign
the
Affairs
importance of
Commissions,
good
FAC.
prompts.
Ministry of
So let's
Foreign
talk
Affairs
about
is a
this.
governmental
So
body
far,
and
all
is
you've been
constituted
typing
ministry under
in
the State
is
Council,
just
headed by Foreign
stuff,
Minister.
right?
There are
Hey,
other
what is a
national
platypus?
organizations
Pretty
like
easy stuff. It's
National
not
Security
difficult.
Commission,
And to be
Chinese
honest and
People's
fair,
Political
it's what you're
Consultative
usually going to
Conference,
do when you're working with
etc.
this.
Why
However,
is the
it's
Parandur
important to
airport
realize
facing
that these are
opposition?
not
Why, or when was
Google
the idea of a
searches you're
second
doing.
airport
These
for
are
Chennai first
actually,
floated?
you're interacting
Why are
with
local
large
wisdom
language
chain
models. You're
managed to
interacting
release the
with
project?
artificial
What is
intelligence.
the road ahead?
And
More
as
than 3
such,
years
it's
after the
not about the
announcement, second
keywords
airport project
so
for
much as it is
Chennai
about
at
the
Parandur
context and the
is
clarity.
finally inching
Which
closer
takes
to
a
its
little bit
final approval.
of kind of
Minister of
redesigning
Civil
your thinking.
Aviation
When I do a
Indira
Google
Mohan
search,
Naidu, who
I'm going to
visited the
do,
Chennai
I can do a
on
Google
February
search like this:
27, said
platypus,
that in principle approval is likely to be
venom,
accorded within the next 2 weeks.
just
However,
platypus
villagers,
venom.
farmers, and
I didn't spell
environmentalists
it
have
wrong.
been
Hang on.
persistently opposing the project
I
for the
was
last 3
lauding
years.
my ability to
A
spell it.
proposal
Now I
to
can't spell
construct
it.
an
There it is.
international
Platypus
airport
venom.
for Chennai city
And boom,
was
just 2
first
keywords
floated
and
in
I'm off to the races.
1998. In the same year,
That's
the
fine.
then
And
Chief
yes,
Minister
you can
M.
do the same
Karunanidhi
thing
wrote to
with
the Prime
AI.
Minister
Here I
seeking
can
to
come in
speed
here.
up the
Let's do
proposal for building a
let's go
second
home.
airport note in the
and say
city.
platypus
Subsequently, a site near
venom. Press enter.
a
And
site
it,
near the
it
south of
produces a result. It
Winamacum was
infers
identified
what I
and
want.
state
and that will
Government
work
moved
most of the
constructing
time.
under the
However, that is not the preferred way
build,
to
own,
go
operate,
about it.
and transfer
The
boot
preferred way
concept.
to go
Build, own,
about it
operate, and
is to
transfer
give
boot concept.
clarity
Build, own, operate, and
to the
transfer
large language model,
boot
to the
concept. In
artificial
1999, the
intelligence.
city got close
Instead
to
of just
getting the
saying, give me
airport as
stuff,
the
and it
center
trying to
approved
figure out what
the
you mean,
International Airport
it's
proposal of
better
2000 crore. In the
if
next couple
you
of years, state
are
government went
precise
on to
about what you
earmark
want. Hey, can I
1400
borrow your
hectare
green
of land
highlighter
just
with the
short of
wide
the
tip?
present
That
airport
is
at
way better
Viramutla.
than saying,
Some
give
changes
me
occurred,
stuff.
and
Get the idea? If you don't, you're about to. So
in the
here,
same
let's
city,
confuse
Karnadidi wrote to the
Perplexity.
Prime Minister to
I'm going to
speed
do a
up the
search
proposal of building a
in
second
Perplexity. I'm going to
airport.
start a new search, and I'm
Subsequently,
going
a
to
site
say,
near south of
what
Numbercom was
is
identified,
a King
constructing
Cobra?
it under build, own, operate, transfer.
Press enter.
Some changes occurred, and by 2007, massive airport, over 4,800
All
hectares
right,
of land
so
with
now
4
it's going to
runways
give me
was
King
planned at
Cobra data.
Sri
Well, this time it
Perumbudur,
works right,
but the
so it's hit or
project failed to
miss.
take off. Now
So
the
this time
Tamil
it
Nadu
worked
government
right.
has
All
finally
right, let's
decided to
see.
catch up one last time,
Let's
and in
try one more.
2022,
Let's try it again, see if we can fool it.
Parandur was
I'll
chosen
just
as a site
say,
for Chennai's
what
second airport.
is
The
Cobra?
29,000 crore
Here we
Parandur
go. What is
airport will
Cobra?
come up in 4 phases
Did I
with
say
3
what is a King
terminals, 2
Cobra last
parallel
time?
runways, over
I think I
2,000
did, didn't I?
hectares of land with a
Oh, well, that's
capacity
where I
of
screwed
handling
up.
100 million
Ah, crap. Hang
passengers.
on. It helps if I do my demos the right
The
way. Let's try it this way.
29,000
What I
crore
meant to say is, what
29,000 crore
is
Parandur
a
airport
Cobra?
will come in 4 phases with
What
3
is a
terminals,
Cobra?
2
There we
parallel
go.
runways, over 2,000
Here
hectares
we
of
go.
land,
Okay,
and
so
with a
now it gets
capacity of
confused.
handling
When I
100
ask what is
million
a Cobra,
passengers.
well,
As
obviously
soon
I'm
as the
talking about a
project was
snake. I
announced,
said
a
a
section of the
Cobra,
population
but
was
it not only
disappointed
gives
at the
me snake
government for
information,
choosing a
it
site
gives
replete
me
with several water
the
bodies,
information about
and the
Cobra. If
threat
you know
could
about
pose
Cobra,
for
that's
the
where you get
environment.
insurance from your
Residents of
employer.
13
After
villages
you
who
leave
will
the
be
company,
displaced due to the project's
you have the
farmers
right to carry
staring
on your
at
insurance
giving
from
up
that
their
company for a
lands
little
and an
while. It's
uncertain
called
future.
Cobra. So
Started
because
protest
that's called
almost
Cobra, and
immediately.
I said, what is
Residents
a
of one of the
Cobra?
villages,
It got
Ketanpuram, will
confused,
be
and it didn't
severely
know
affected by the
what I
project.
meant.
Resolutely
In order
continued to
to
hold
avoid
protest
that
every
confusion,
evening till today, recording
what
over
we can
950
do
days of the
is what we actually
protest.
did to begin with. So I
Environmentalists have
kind of
strongly
stole my own
advised
thunder
against
there. I
implementing the
can make it
project
more
as
clear and say what
26% of
is
the
a
site comprises
King
wetland.
Cobra.
Experts
That is
pointed
very
out how
clear. That
Chennai
adds
city,
the
which has
clarity they were
grappled
missing. Because
with
right
floods on
now
multiple
it's talking
occasions,
about
could
Cobra
bear
on a
a
bit of a
serious brunt
snake,
of inundation
blah blah
should this
blah.
project
But it's
become a
also
reality.
referring to this
Kamban Canal in Parandur
Cobra
area
coverage.
connects numerous
If I
water
say what is a
bodies and
King Cobra,
distributing its natural course
it sticks to actual
could
Cobra stuff. If we look at the
cause a
sources,
serious cascading effect on
it's
the
no
city
longer
during the
concerned about
monsoon.
insurance.
Due to protest and
So
increasing
that's what we mean
criticism,
by
Tamil Nadu
clarity.
government
What
constituted
you
a
really want to
committee
do
and a
is be more as precise
hydrogeological
as you
report was
can with your
submitted. Reports
prompts
suggest ways
in
and means to
order
mitigate
to
flooding. However, the
help the
report has
large
been
language
kept
model
confidential and not been made
understand
public
what
by
you
the
need.
government
And
as
the
of
more
yet,
context you
adding to
can
the
give it, the
concerns.
better within
Land
reason.
acquisition for the project and a
Now,
series of surveys mandated by
that's
Ministry of Forest,
pretty much
Environment
what
and
it boils
Climate
down
Change
to.
are
So
underway
better
now.
prompts
But one of the
equals
major
better
challenges that
results.
lies
Bottom
ahead for
line.
the project is receiving the environmental
Okay.
clearance
And by
due
the
to
way, I do
presence of
include those
vast
prompts in
amount
the
of
slide deck, so you're
wetlands.
welcome to
If
those.
the Tamil Nadu Industrial
All
Development
right,
Corporation Limited
let's
receives
talk
the
about.
approval
Yeah, we
by
got
the
time. I
end
think
of
we'll get
this
through
year or
threads
early
and
next year,
probably collections.
then
We'll
post
see.
land acquisition,
So let's go
construction
ahead
of the
and
terminals
talk
could
about
start.
understanding
The
threads.
government looks to
So
complete
to
the
really
first
understand
phase,
threads,
have the terminal up and
we're
running
going to
before
dig
the
into
end of
this. So
2028.
here we go.
A proposal
First of
to
all, take a
construct a
look on
new
the left-hand
international
side at your
airport was
library.
first
Here, let
floated
me
in
just go home real quick so we
1998.
don't have any
Tamil
distractions.
Nadu
Okay, I'm
government has
home.
finally decided to
Just
catch
blank
up
here,
upon
right?
the
Look at the left-hand side of
lost
your
time
library. You see this?
in
What is a king
2022.
cobra? What is a
Parandur
king
was
cobra?
chosen as the
Platypus, venom,
site of
platypus.
Chennai's
What is a
second
penguin?
airport. As
Okay.
soon as the
Click
project was
on what
announced,
is
the
a penguin.
section of population was
It
disappointed for
should
choosing
open
a
up the
site
search you
replete with
did
several
before.
water
Click on
bodies.
platypus venom.
Land acquisition
Same
for the
deal.
project and a series of
Same
surveys
deal. Notice
mandated
how,
by
by
the
the way, when
Ministry
you
of
click on
Environment,
something, it
Forest
moves
and
it to the
Climate Change are
top.
underway now.
Notice also, and be very careful
The
about this,
implications
there's a
of treating
line
virtual
that
digital
shows
assets as
all the
taxable
stuff that we've
properties. For the
done
first
being
time in
connected
India,
in
the
some
Income
way.
Tax Bill
And do you see that little
2025
X? Do not
explicitly
click on
treats
that little
virtual
X, because
digital
if you
assets as
do,
property and
that
capital
will
assets.
clear
By
all
defining
of
them as
these out.
such, India gains the
That can be a
ability to
problem.
tax,
That's
regulate, and
definitely going
seize
to be a
crypto
problem. I
assets
don't know
and
why why they did that. That's
preventive
the
awareness
only
used
two
for
things they've
immediate
done
financial
really, I think, are
penalties.
kind of dumb.
As
interface
digital
wise.
economies
One is
expand
not
and
being able to
blockchain
edit
technology
my
reshapes
prompt
global
here with
finance,
a little edit button.
governments
The
worldwide are
other one
grappling
is
with the
this,
classification,
clearing
regulation, and
all my
taxation of
prompts
virtual
out
digital
with this one
assets.
little X.
India's income tax
That
bill
is scary.
introduces a
Let me show
comprehensive
you how to
legal framework
properly
for virtual
manage
digital
these things.
assets
Notice I
defined in
have two
Section
King
2,
Cobra queries
Clause
here, and I
111,
really don't need
aligning the
two, so I'm going to get
country
rid of one.
track
To
structure
do
with
that,
global
click on
precedents.
where it
This
says
move is
library
crucial
on the left-hand
considering how
side.
major economies like the US,
And
UK,
now it's going to
Singapore,
show you all your
Australia, New
threads. That's
Zealand,
what
and
your
UAE
queries are,
have
by the way. They're
approached the virtual
threads.
digital
It's going to show
assets
you all your
primarily
threads.
as a
Notice I
property
have
or
multiple threads going
securities.
on, and it even shows me
For
when
the
I did
first
them.
time in India's
Pretty cool,
income
huh?
tax bill,
Very, very
2025
cool.
explicitly
So
treats
now that I
virtual
have
digital
this, and by the
assets
way,
as
for
the
that shared,
property
notice it shows
and
me
the
how many times
capital
it's even
asset.
been
This
viewed.
classification has far-reaching
But now that I
consequences in
have
terms of
this,
taxation,
I want
compliance, and
to
legal
take a look at
recognition.
these. So
The
each
bill
entry has
categorically
a
states that
plus, which
virtual
is add to
digital assets,
collection. We'll
which
get to collections
include
in a minute.
crypto
And then these
assets,
three dots,
non-fungible
which
tokens,
are
and
add to
similar digital
collection and
assets,
or
should be
delete thread.
considered property.
Okay,
This
pick
move
one of
aligns
your
India
King
with
Cobras
global
if you have a
practices
duplicate or
where digital
anything that
assets
you
are
have.
either
Click on
classified as
the three dots
securities
if you
like
have it. If
in the
not, you have a
US
bucket and
or
click on delete
properties like
thread.
in the US,
It'll
Australia,
say,
and
are
New
you
Zealand.
sure you want to delete
Virtual
this thread?
digital
Because
assets
you
are
may have spent
classified as
hours
capital assets
building up
under
this
Section
thread.
76
So you
Clause
better
1.
be darn
This means
sure you
that
want to
any
get rid
gains
of it.
arising
And if
from
you're
the
not darn
sale,
sure,
transfer, or
don't
exchange
delete
will be
it.
taxed under
But in my
capital
case, I am
gains
darn sure,
provisions
so I'm going to
similar
confirm,
to real estate,
and it
stock,
gets
and
rid of the
bonds.
thread. You'll notice
For
now
example,
the
if an
thread is
individual
gone in my
purchases
list
Bitcoin
here,
at 10
and I'm
lakh
in
and
business.
sells at
So
20
that is
lakh, the 10
one
lakh profit will be
thing you can
subject to
do. So
capital
everything you're
gains tax,
doing in
either short-term or
Perplexity,
long-term, depending on the
each
holding
individual
period.
session
By
is known as
treating
a
virtual
thread.
digital
Regardless of the number
assets
of
as capital
follow-ons and
assets, the
all that
government
stuff,
ensures
it's
that
still a thread.
transactions are subject to
And
standard asset
you can then
taxation
take that
principle,
entire thread and
preventing
it
their
stores it
misuse
here,
as
and then you can do
unregulated
even
financial
more with it
instruments.
beyond that. So
This
that's pretty much
classification is
how
similar to the
threads
UK
work out.
policy where
Threads are
HM
everything you're
Revenue and
talking about. By the way,
Customs
to go to any
recognizes crypto
thread, just
assets as property
click, go
for
to the
tax
name, it'll
purposes.
turn a different color, click on it, and boom, there's your thread. Ready to rock and roll, and you can begin
Likewise, New
asking follow-up
Zealand's
questions
Inland
as well. Let me
Department
ask a
also treats
follow-up.
crypto
How do
assets as
scientists
property,
study
making them
platypus
subject to
venom?
income tax on trades.
Notice
Continuing
when
the
I click on the
precedent set in
follow-up, it gives me
22, the
the
bill
answer,
imposes
but what it
30% tax
doesn't
on
do
income
is
from
it doesn't
virtual
generate a new
digital asset
thread. Why?
transfers.
Because this is part of a
Unlike
single
traditional
thread so
capital
far.
assets, no
This is
deductions
part of a
other than
single
cost of
thread. Now, what
acquisition
happens if
are
I go off the
allowed.
rails? What
This
happens if I
means that
say,
expenses related to
what
mining,
is
transaction fees, platform
a
commission, and
giraffe?
gas fee cannot be deducted while calculating taxable income.
Does it
For instance, if an
recognize that
investor
that's
buys Ethereum for 5
different
lakh
in
and
some
sells it
way?
for
Does it
7
create a
lakh,
new
the
thread?
2 lakh
Well, the
profit
answer
is
is
taxed
no,
at flat
because
30% with
anything
no
you
relief from
ask
the
as
transaction
part
cost.
of this
This tax
session,
treatment is
it really
harsher
doesn't
than
care
in the
what
UAE,
you're
where
asking. It
virtual
just
digital
knows
regulatory
all of this is
authority
part
allows
of
businesses
one
and individuals
unit
to
of
hold and
work
trade
that
videos
you've been
under
working on.
regulated conditions
So
with
it has
0%
no
personal income
concern
tax
about
on gains in
what it
certain
is you're
cases,
doing. It
similar to
just
previous
knows to
amendments.
keep it all
Section
together.
393
As
states
long as you're
1%
asking
TDS
questions
on
and asking
transfer of
follow-ups,
VDS.
it's
This
all
applies
considered
even in
one
peer-to-peer
thread.
transactions and ensures that government
Okay.
tracks large crypto
All right.
transactions.
So
The
good
threshold
news
for
there.
TDS exemption is
Now,
50,000 for small
let's
traders and
see.
10,000 for
That was one
others.
item. By the way, we are going to get to,
Another
and
crucial
don't worry, I
provision is
haven't
the
forgotten.
inclusion of
We will
VDS
get to how
in
to search
undisclosed
images,
income
videos,
taxation and
and
asset
generate
seizure
images. Actually, let's knock
regulations.
it out right now
Section
while we're here.
301 states that
So
if
you've
an
probably noticed
individual
by
fails to
now
report
that for
VDA
some of your
holdings in their
queries,
tax
you have
filings,
search images,
they can
search
be
videos, and
classified
generate
as
image.
undisclosed
Well, search
income
images is
and
exactly what it
taxed
sounds like. It
accordingly.
searches
Furthermore,
images
Section
for whatever the
524
topic
Clause
is
1
you're
allows
talking
tax
about.
authorities
So
to
if I
seize
click on search
virtual digital
images, in this
assets
case we're
during
talking about long
investigations or
necks,
tax
it's going
raids,
to look
similar
for
to how
pictures of
cash,
giraffes
gold,
with
or
long
real
necks.
estate is
And actually in this
confiscated in
one,
cases
the
of
highlighted one
tax
shows
evasion.
the neck and
This
how it
aligns
works.
with
Pretty
global
cool.
enforcement trends.
Search
The
videos,
UK High
same
Court
thing.
has
Basically,
ruled
if I
that
click on the
crypto
plus
assets
sign
can
next
be
to search
considered
videos, it
property,
searches a whole
allowing
bunch of
courts to
videos
freeze or seize
to
them in legal
find
disputes.
videos
By
on
treating
giraffes, and then
VDS
I
as
can watch
property
the
for
various
seizure
videos.
purposes, India
By the way, it
ensures
doesn't
that
just search
crypto
YouTube, it
assets do
searches a whole
not
bunch of places.
remain a shadow
Finally, finally, generate
class
image is a
immune
pro
from regulatory
feature.
oversight.
Generate image will
Under
actually
Section
generate an
509,
image
any
based on
entity
your
dealing in
topic.
crypto assets,
We don't
including
have pro,
exchanges,
so that's
wallet
not an option. Actually, I
providers,
guess I
and
could turn
even
on pro.
individual
Let me turn on
traders,
pro
is
and generate
required
image.
to report
Continue with
transactions in a
pro.
prescribed format. This provision
Or is it going to make me sign
mandates
up? Now it's going to
compliance
make me
from
sign up for that
platforms
one. So
facilitating
even if I
crypto
have
trades,
pro
making it harder
searches,
to launder
I don't
money
have this
through
pro
digital
feature
assets. The
available
bill
to me.
also
Okay, not a
mandates that
problem. I'm going to
VDs be
subscribe to pro
included
later on
in
anyway,
annual
so I'll show
information
it to you then.
statements. ensuring all
here,
crypto
this is what you get. So
transactions are
search images
automatically recorded in
and search
taxpayers' books.
videos are exactly
Financial
what
profiles,
you think they
India's
are.
decision to
It looks
treat
at your
videos as
topic and says,
property and
okay, let me
capital
find
assets
that in
is a
images and
step towards
videos.
aligning with
Pretty easy
international
stuff.
legal standards. The
All
United
right,
States
so those are
SEC
threads.
classifies many
Now,
crypto assets as securities,
let's move
bringing them
on.
under the
Let's
financial
talk
market
about
regulations.
collections.
This shift
Collections
is
are
critical
actually
for
seriously
ensuring that
cool.
videos do not exist in a
So
legal gray area.
you know your
By
thread
defining them
is
as
a
property,
single
India
unit
gains the
of a
ability
whole
to
bunch of
tax,
stuff you've been
regulate, and
working on.
seize
Whatever it
crypto
is,
assets
just a
when
bunch of
necessary.
stuff you've been working on. Well, collections
By defining them as property, India gains the
basically a
ability
bunch
to tax,
of
regulate,
your
seize
work
crypto
put
assets when
together.
necessary,
So if a thread
preventing
is
their
a single
misuse for
unit, a
illicit
collection can
financial
be a
activities.
whole bunch of these
However, it
units
is
put
crucial to
together.
recognize
Let me
that
illustrate.
despite the developments in
So
the
if I'm in my
taxonomy and taxation
library
of virtual digital assets,
and I go
there
to
remains a
this,
lack
what is
of
a
clear and
platypus
comprehensive regulatory
thread,
framework.
and I
The
say, okay,
current
let's
legal
add
approach
that to a
operates in
collection. So I'm
silos,
going to make a new
addressing
collection called
taxonomy taxation, but leaving
platypus
significant gaps in areas such as investor
info.
protection, market
I
regulation,
can
enforcement
upload an
mechanisms,
emoji if I want
and a lack
to.
of standard guidelines.
Sure, it's
This
probably a good
treatment
idea
of
to
videos
do that.
extends
Let me
far
pause
beyond.
and get an
It
emoji I want
requires
to upload. Oh, actually,
cohesive
you don't need to
policy
pause it. It's
framework
just an
that
emoji. So
integrates
I can
financial
do emojis.
regulations, consumer
I
rights, and
doubt a platypus
technological
is in here, but I'll
advancements to
try.
ensure a balanced and secure
Nope.
digital assets ecosystem.
So we'll just say animal.
Number of languages recognized under
All right, well, I'm going to have to
Schedule:
go with paper.
Nepali,
All right. Yes, I
Maithili,
know. It's
Santli,
not a
Sindhi,
platypus.
Bodo, Dongri,
Description,
Kashmiri,
optional.
Maithili, Santli, Sindhi do not have script of
Used
their own
to
classical language
gather
status. Sanskrit, Odia,
information about the platypus.
Bengali,
If you can
Tulsi
find a
Rasham,
platypus
Chitti Madhav,
emoji, you might be able to
Sushrutalin,
load it up. Let's
Avadhi.
find out. Can I
This
load up
Indian
custom
language has a
emojis?
whopping 247 characters. Tamil,
No,
Meghalaya's
no, it
Kongtham
doesn't look like.
village,
So it looks like here's a
Whistled
create.
identities.
No, I just created it. Crap. I
Only
thought that was
person
for
to
the
win
emojis.
consecutive
Oh, well,
awards
that's
for
fine.
the direction in
We'll go to
21st
it. All right, so
century.
hang on. Let's go back. Back to our library. All right, back to our platypus. There it is. Okay. All right, so now, hang on.
Parasite.
I want to edit it. Let's get back to this. So I did a description. AI prompt. Now, this is
The
interesting.
director of
Give
this
instructions
film
to
was
the AI that
nominated
affect
multiple
every
times
thread
for
in the
directing
in the
feature
collection.
films.
See, this is
However,
what this
he won
means
his
is
only award
these are
for a live
instructions.
action
So
short
if you've ever
film.
been to ChatGPT, you've done a custom GPT, that's kind of what's going on here. So you can give it custom instructions essentially. You can say
Republicans
you
and
are a
Democrats
helpful
remain divided on US aid to
agent,
Ukraine. A day
or
after
helpful
heated exchange in
zookeeper
the Oval Office between Ukrainian President Vladimir
who
Zelensky and US President
educates
Trump and JD
students
Vance,
on
protesters across US cities took to
the
streets to show
platypus.
solidarity with Ukraine. According to a survey conducted by Pew
You
Research Center,
will
Republicans and
answer
Democrats
questions
continue to hold differing views. Chatbot
about the
shows that
platypus.
party-wise split. Total share of respondents who believe that US is providing
And nothing else.
too much
There we
support
go.
to
All right.
Ukraine.
Is this shareable or not?
So Republicans
We
believe
can make it
too much
shareable
support.
by clicking on shareable. It is
And
shareable. Anyone with a
Democrats
link can
believe
view,
that about
or we
right
can make it
support.
secret. It's your
Share of
call. At
Americans
this point,
who
I'll go ahead
believe
and
that
click
US
on,
is
when you're
providing too
done,
much
click on
support
create
has
for you. It's
increased to
update for me because I
27%.
made a change. And there we go. So now it's
30%
got, well, I created it
since
without adding a
before the
thread to
November
it, it looks like.
elections.
So I need to add some threads in. So once you've created it, if you'll be in your collections area. Up here and to the right, you'll see there's 3 dots where we can
The way
add,
to
where we can
protect
edit the collection. Now,
around.
editing the collection doesn't do anything because we can't add threads for here.
In December
So this is
24,
just where you
TN
go to change the
Godavaram
title,
versus
description, and other
Union of
stuff if you
India,
need to.
Supreme Court
But if we
recognized
go
the
back to our
socio-cultural
library,
and socio-ecological and cultural
which will take a
importance of
second.
Oran's
Let's try that again.
sacred
Okay.
forest
Doesn't want to take
communities
us back there. There it
in
goes. Just gotta
Rajasthan
think about
and
it.
passed
We go back to our
protectionist
library
orders
then
for their
and go
conservation.
to what is
The
a
judgment
platypus.
aims to
Click
further
on add to
the protection
collection.
of Orans and
Click on
harness local
platypus
communities
info.
agency for doing so.
Now
It
we
seeks
just
to
added a
achieve
thread.
these
Now I know we've
objectives by
added a thread because
formalizing
over
the
here in
governance and
Platypus Info,
management of
it
Orange,
shows next to
that
the
is, by
thread
bringing
icon,
them
that's what
within
those
the
little
purview of
stacks of paper are.
biodiversity-related
It
laws.
shows that we have
While this
one
is well
thread in there,
intended,
but we're
no
not done.
formalization may
What about
not produce
Platypus
desired
Venom? That's about
outcomes.
platypus, isn't
Qurans
it?
are sacred
So let's
groups
click on
established by
that, add to
local
collection,
communities since
and add it to
pre-agrarian times.
Platypus Info.
Every
Notice
Quran
now there
is
are two
presided by a
threads in
local
there.
deity whose idol is
There you
placed
go.
inside it,
And so
while different
now, if I
socio-religious
want to go to my
traditions may be
collection, I just click
associated
on the
with
collection name, which is
different
here. It shows you your
Qurans.
collections.
Qurans are sacred
Click on
groups
my
established by
collection
local
name,
communities since
and I can
pre-agrarian
begin
times.
asking questions within those threads. It has the thread information in there, and I can say, when
Every Quran is
does
presided by a local deity
the
whose
platypus
idol is placed inside it, while
mate?
different socio-religious traditions may be
And let
associated
it
with
do its
different
thing.
Qurans.
So it's going to
A
use the
shared
information
tradition
from
is
the
the
threads
prohibition
and
on
any other
cutting trees
information it can
using
find,
an axe.
and
It is
it's going to produce
believed that anyone who
information for you.
contravenes this
Now
may
it
be
gets a little
harmed
more
by the
interesting
deity.
than that.
In
Because let me show
addition to
you
their socio-religious
the
and
impact of the
economic
custom
importance,
instructions.
by enhancing local
So in this
fauna,
case,
Qurans
now
also
what we're going to
support
do
traditional
is we're
water
going to go
resources
back to
by
our library,
trapping
and
surface
we're going
runoff to
to,
increase
all
groundwater
right, we're going to
levels
go
in the
back
area.
here, and we're going
This
to go into the
augments water
collection again.
availability in sources both
And what
above
we're going
and
to do
below
is
the
I'm going to
ground.
edit the
In
collection,
some
and
villages of
this time
Rajasthan,
I'm going to say
Qurans
you're a helpful
established and governed
zookeeper.
by informal
You're a
community
helpful. I'm going to
institutions
change
as a
zookeeper to
part of
pirate.
comprehensive watershed
You're a helpful
management.
pirate who
The
educates students
code's
on the platypus.
objectives of
You'll answer
encouraging
questions about the platypus
community-led
and nothing
protection
else.
of
I'm going to click on
Qurans
update,
is evident through
and
the
now that I've
judgment
updated, I'm
it
going to say,
acknowledges and
what
reiterates
is
the
a platypus?
crucial role played by formal and informal community institutions.
I really screwed myself with the platypus thing, didn't I? There we go. So I asked, what is a platypus? And notice now the answer. Ahoy there, matey. Let me tell you about the wondrous platypus, a true marvel.
The code's
Platypus be a
objective of
unique
encouraging
creature.
community-led
Arr.
protection
You
of
see there?
Qurans is
So
evident through the
those
judgment
custom
it
instructions can be
acknowledges
important.
and
You can
reiterates
identify the persona. I literally told it, you're a pirate telling me about the
the
platypus,
crucial
and
role
boom,
played
there it
by
is.
formal
Ahoy
and
there, matey.
informal community
So that's the
institutions in
power
governing
of these things. You
Qurans.
can get
However, the
really,
pathway
really,
laid
really
down
awesome results out of collections. You get your threads together, put them in a collection, set up personas and custom instructions, and you can get some really, really neat stuff, just like you
to
could
achieve
with a custom
this is
GPT if you're in
contentious.
ChatGPT.
The code's objective of encouraging
Okay.
community-led protection
All right, I
is
think this is a
evident
good
through
place
the
to stop,
judgment
so we'll go ahead and
it
stop here. It's been
acknowledges
about
and
30
reiterates
minutes.
the crucial role played
The
by
next
formal
session,
and
we're going to
informal community
do some
institutions.
wrapping up, go
In
through
the
other
judgment, the
features we
first
haven't
step
talked
towards
about,
formalization is
and
court's declaration of Qurans as
have
forest
fun with
under
it. All right,
Forest
this
Conservation
is
Act
Zane. I'll see you next time.
1980. For the courts, the first step towards formalization is Qurans as
All right,
forest
everybody.
under
All right, it's
Forest
Zane from
Conservation
Really
Act.
Easy AI,
While
and
this
this
will
is
ensure
it,
that
part 3,
Qurans
the
receive
final
protection under
part
the Act,
of working
it will
with
also subject them
Perplexity
to wide
AI. So hopefully you've
exemptions that
enjoyed the journey
circumvent
so
such
far.
protection.
And
Such some
yeah, let's
exemptions
jump into
introduced
it.
through
So
Forest
we've looked at
Conservation
a lot
Amendment
of
Act
stuff.
23
We are on
have
the
been
last
critiqued
pieces.
on
We're
the
going to be
ground
looking
that
at
they
using
dilute the
focus,
protections
working with
accorded by the
attachments,
Act. For example, Act
upgrading the pro
requires the
search. I'm
diversion
actually
of
going to do
forest
that,
land for
the working with
non-forest
attachments
purposes
parts,
requires
and then
permission
we'll do
from the
pro
central
search and
government.
pro
However,
other pro
diversion
features
from
as we
inter
come
area
across
zoos,
them.
safaris, and ecotourism
All
have
right,
been
let's jump
exempted from
into
this
it.
requirement,
So,
bringing Qurans under the purview of the Act
using
foregrounds
focus. So
them and
using
opens them for
focus.
such contentious
When
use.
you are
Not
doing a
only
search,
would this defeat
there's
the
two
purpose
things
of
at the bottom
conserving
of the
them,
search you can
but
take
also
advantage of:
conflict with the
focus
local
and
communities.
attachments. We're going to address both of those in turn. Let's begin with focus because it's the easiest and it is free. If before you go into your search, if you go to focus right now,
In
the
fact, in
default
May
for any
24,
search
Down
you
to Earth
do
had
is
reported
all. It
that
searches
local
across the
communities
entire
in
internet.
Rajasthan
However,
have expressed
you
their
can
reservations
have it
against the
focus
declaration
in
of
particular
Qurans as
areas.
forest.
For
They
example, you
apprehended
can
that
search
any such
just the academic
formalization will lead
literature.
to
So
loss
if I click on
of their
academic, I can
access over
say,
their Qurans. Second, code's objective of a
what
further
is the
community-led
latest
governance and management of
developments
Qurans will also be subsumed
in
by formalization. Take, for
LLMs?
example, the
And it's not going to search the entire internet. It's going to look at
Wildlife
the
Protection Act
research papers.
1972. The
Rapid
Act
growing,
provides
several
setting up of a
developments, large
committee
language
for the
models, blah, blah,
management
blah,
of such reserves,
pushing the
consisting of
boundaries. Now, it's not
representation
giving
from both
me,
local
it's not
community and
giving
state.
me
However,
citations,
as
which is
has been
interesting.
noted by legal
That's very
scholars,
interesting. How
the role
about
of this
find
committee
me
is
the
limited to
latest
managerial tasks. The committee has been excluded from the decision-making
papers
process.
on
Further, under
LLMs?
the Act, the ultimate
Let's say the
control
latest
of any
5
community
papers.
reserve is within with the
Let's try
script
that.
will be the case with Orange, as they
There
will
you
be
go. So
declared
no,
as
yeah,
such.
it's
This
not. You
could
notice it's not giving me
tether the
links, but it is
current
giving
role
me
played
names.
by
So
the
it is
informal
searching
community
academic
institutions
literature,
in government and
presumably. But
management.
I find it interesting that
Orange
they're not
similarly
including
suggestion to
the
declare
citations,
Orange
which
as
is what
common
they're most
forest
known
land
for.
under
But
the
clearly,
Forest
it's doing
Rights Act
academic. You can see it up
2006
top here.
may not
All right, let's
necessarily empower
go try
communities
a
or
different item.
grant them
Let's
rights.
go ahead and try writing. Now,
To
writing's
claim
interesting.
rights,
Generate
community individual
text or
must
chat
meet
without searching the
eligibility
web.
criteria under
So
the
this one
Act.
doesn't search;
The
it just
Act
generates. So
has
here's where
directed
you'd
the
say
state
something
government to
like,
identify
"Oh, this
communities
is a good example.
and
Write an
grant them
email asking for a reference." There
rights
we go.
under the Act.
Boom.
However, in
So this
certain
one's just
villages,
pure
Orans have been
LLM, right?
established and are
Something you might
being
do in
managed by
ChatGPT or
informal
Gemini or
community
Claude.
institutions that may
So that
not
one's kind of cool.
meet the
All right,
criteria,
let's go back
so
home.
they may
Let's try
not be
something
able to
different.
enjoy the
Math.
rights
Solve
guaranteed
equations and
under
find
the Act.
numerical answers. Here's some examples. Derivative of x plus 1 squared. So let's give that a shot. Now it's using something called Wolfram, which, if you recall, if you've been
Further,
using
under the
ChatGPT at
Act,
all,
the ultimate
that
control of
ChatGPT
community
used this
reserve
a
is
long
with
time
the
ago as
state,
well. Still
as
does.
will be the
Now we're getting
case
our
with
citations
Orans if
back.
they are declared
Derivative
as
Wolfram
such.
alpha. Looks like we
Oran
get
is common
this nice
forest land
little
under Forest Rights Act
visual
may not
here.
necessarily
So
empower
that's kind of
communities or
cool using
grant them
Wolfram.
rights. One of the suggestions
And
made by
that's
the
it for
court is
that.
that
All right,
Environment
very
Ministry
cool.
should
Let's
formulate a
go home.
comprehensive policy
So
for
you've got
governance
a whole bunch of
and
different
management for
things, right?
Orans. This proposal
Academic, writing,
emerges
math,
from the
video,
lack of
discover and
formal
watch
governance
videos,
mechanism
and then social,
for
search for
managing
discussions
Orans
and
as noted by
opinions.
the code.
So here
While
we might
comprehensive
say
policy is welcome, it
something
should
along the
not
lines
be
of,
aimed at formalizing informal
let's see,
institutions,
videos.
informal or community
How about what is
institutions,
an
or
LLM? What
replacing
is a
them
large
with a
language model?
centralized body. Rather,
All right,
as
so it looks like
suggested
it's
in the
across
judgment
all of
itself,
YouTube. Looks like it's
successful
only
models
searching
of the
YouTube.
informal
Okay,
governance
I
should
thought
be
it would search
identified,
more than
empowered,
just
and
YouTube, but it
replaced in
appears to
similar
only be
contexts.
searching YouTube. So
Such
my
empowerment
mistake.
and replication must
Very
be in
interesting. All
consultation
right,
with
all
local
right. Well,
communities
moving on.
and other civil
And
society
then last but
actors.
certainly not least, social for discussions. Now, I believe this used to say Reddit, and now it says social.
Increase in government spending, private consumption bode
Latest
well.
indie video games,
There
I
was a
guess?
significant
Sure.
uptick in India's economic trajectory in the December quarter of the financial
Okay, so it's
year,
still
registering
just searching
a
Reddit. I don't know why they changed it to
6.2% real
social.
GDP growth
It
rate
still just searches
compared with the
Reddit.
low revised estimate of
Okay,
5.6%,
there you go.
5.4%
Maybe
in
they're
the
getting ready
previous
to upgrade
quarter.
it. I don't
To
know.
be sure, the growth
Okay,
rate was
so
the slowest
that's
since quarter
what that
4
does,
of
and that's how you can use
FY23,
focus. So if you
except
wanted
for
to
the previous
focus in a
quarter's
particular area,
5.6%. The
you can use focus.
6.2%
Otherwise, it
growth
just
rate
defaults to
also
everything.
suggests that government's full
So
year
and
growth
and by
target of
everything, I mean the entire
6.5%
internet, right?
is
It doesn't
virtually
do writing, obviously,
unattainable
any of that
given
stuff.
global headwinds and tariffs
Okay,
that could lead to
so
imported
now
inflation.
one other quick
Amid
thing
tepid
while I'm thinking about
performance
it,
by
just
the
a minor
manufacturing and
correction.
services
I think
sector
somewhere in one of the
domestically,
videos I
the
said
bulk of quarter 3 of
during the login, like you could change your
2023-25,
password.
growth has
That
been
was wrong.
registered
I've
by the
discovered that
primary
later. I was
sector
playing around with
with
a
value
different
added
thing and signing in with an
of
email.
5.2% up from
Right now, Perplexity doesn't
1.8% in the
have
same quarter
passwords, so
last
you
year.
either sign in with your
With
Google
growth
account, your
from the
Apple account,
secondary and
or
tertiary
your email.
sectors
But when you sign with
that
your
make
email,
up
it sends
manufacturing and
you
services
a
slowed
link
to
for you to
4.8
use,
and 7.4%
which is very similar to what
respectively,
Claude does. Claude
compared
does
with
the same
12%
thing.
and
So
8.3%
it's not
last
particularly
year,
interesting
while
or
Chief Economic Advisor
earth
B.
shattering, but I
Anand
thought I'd make that
Nageshwaram
correction.
acknowledged
All right,
that a
moving on.
growth rate of
So the next
7.6% in
thing in
current
our
quarter
list
is
then
ambitious
is
amid global economic
attachments. Working
uncertainties.
with
His
attachments.
suggestion that this
Now,
growth is
interestingly
attainable
enough, you do
sounds rather
get a
optimistic
certain number of
unless the
free
Mahafund propelled
attachments that you can
consumption
do.
spike that
And
was
as fate would
unable
have it,
to
as I was
buttress
prepping for
the
this
current quarter's
session,
growth
I did the
numbers.
attachments,
India's
not
manufacturing
realizing
and
that they were
service
just
sector
free
remains
for
vulnerable to
a
global
certain
trade
number and
uncertainties,
burn through all my
such as
attachments. So
US's
you will get a certain
25%
number
import tariff on tree
per
and
day, I
an
believe
equal
it is. That's
percentage
what it
proposed
says,
on
left today.
pharmaceuticals.
But I
About
don't know what
a
that number is.
third,
Plus, I don't know if that
31%
number
of
resets every
India's pharma
4 hours
exports,
because this also
totaling
says
$8.7
searches
billion,
left
were to
today,
the US.
reloads every 4 hours. But
About a
this one
third,
doesn't say reloads every
$8.7
4 hours.
billion were to
Regardless,
the US.
clearly
News of the
attaching
proposed
files is
tariffs
a
has
pro
sent,
feature. And so
with
with that
some of the
said, because
firms
I really have no
suggesting
choice,
a
in order to show
pivot
you
to
attachments,
producing in the
I'm going to go
US,
ahead and upgrade to
which could
Pro.
potentially lead to
So
a trade revenue loss for
let's walk
India.
through that process.
There are
So
bright
here it
spots,
says try
however, the
Pro,
uptick
upgrade
of
for image
8.3%
uploads, smarter
in
AI,
government
and more
spending
Pro
and
search. Click on learn
6.9% in
more.
growth in private
Okay.
consumption
When I click on
expenditure
Learn More, it
has
takes
been
me to
bolstered by
Perplexity
moderation,
Pro, 20 bucks a
moderation in
month.
inflation.
It's going to be up to you to
RBI
decide
has
whether or not that's
projected
worth it or
inflation to
not. I'm
average
doing it obviously for
4.8%
this
in FY25,
session. I may cancel right
estimating
after.
that
I don't
this
know.
would
We'll
ease
see.
further to
But I'm going to click on Continue
4.2%
with
in
Pro.
FY26, indicating a possible
All
alignment with
right.
the RBI's
Now it says,
medium-term
hey,
target rate of 4%.
What do you
However,
want to?
these current
Let me turn
estimates
off my
have come into
dark reader
question
there.
as
This
National
goes to Stripe.
Statistical
It
Office
says, hey, how do you want to
indicated that
pay?
it has attempted a tweaking of its methodology, factoring in
Perplexity Pro.
industry-wise
Wow, I've been saying it this whole time.
institution-wise
All of a sudden, I'm
detailed
getting
information.
tongue-tied. I'm
But
just going to do
not
it monthly
quite
because I'm probably
elaborating
going
on
to
what
cancel. I
material
don't know.
influence this
I don't know if I'm
has
going to cancel yet.
had
I'll
on the
convert
quality
to
and quantity
annual
of
billing
the
later
data
on.
collected. The
Promotion
NSO
code
went
if you
on to
have
say
one.
that overall,
Due today,
as well as sectoral
$20, and
variations
then you
in
can put in your
advanced
credit card
estimates is
information. I'm
attributed
going to
to a
go ahead and
revision of
pause here, put
benchmark
all that in,
estimates
and click on
and additional
subscribe.
or updated
So
data
give me a
available
moment.
on various
Okay,
indicators.
I gave it my
NSO
credit
must
card. We
clarify
went
this
through the
revision
process,
methodology
and
to
now here we
enable a
are on the
more
other, right on
informed
the other side.
analysis
Immediately it gives you
of
the
the data that it
Perplexity Pro
provides.
page.
Ukraine
Your
should not
subscription
be
begins
made
now.
upon
Set your preferred
in
AI model. So you can set
any
your
US
preferred
deal
AI
with
model,
Russia.
refer a
The
friend, and you both
dramatic
get a
showdown in the
discount. Give
White House
$10,
between
get
Trump President
$10. Your
Donald Trump
referral link.
and his
So if you
Ukrainian
want to,
counterpart
obviously
Zelensky
refer a
in full
friend. Let's
view
go
of
click on this for
television
settings.
cameras was
And let's
unprecedented
set
in the
our,
history
and
of
we saw this
modern
before, right,
diplomacy.
where we can set
For Mr.
our
Zelensky, who was to
AI
sign
model.
an agreement
So
on
here, notice
Rangers
we
and
have
discuss
a few
Mr.
things under
Trump's peace
Perplexity
plan,
Pro.
the
So
visit
we
was
manage
both
our subscription from
humiliating and
here. We can now
disastrous.
choose our
Humiliating because
AI model. It
Mr.
uses the
Zelensky's
default, but we can
apparent
say, well, what's
questioning
your
of
preferred
US
model? Well, I'm
President
going to go with Claude
JD Vance
3.5
push for
Sonnet. That's
diplomacy
one of the better models out today.
triggered a spiraling spat, prompting
Image
Mr.
generation
Trump to
model,
say
you have a
that Ukraine
choice.
was not winning the
Playground
war and Mr.
2.5,
Zelensky was being
Dolly 3
ungrateful
or
to the
Stable
US.
Diffusion.
It was disastrous
Really
because Mr.
depends. I'll
Trump
stick
and
with
Mr.
Playground
Zelensky
2.5. Honestly, I don't know much about these
because
models.
Mr.
I use
Trump
Dolly
asked
3 all the
Mr.
time, so I'll
Zelensky
try
to
something
take the
different.
deal. He was
Pro
negotiating with the
Discord. Yeah,
Russians,
there's a
or
Discord
we
you
are
can
out,
join, presumably
and
for
this was a
support,
threat that US
etc.
would
And
stop
then there's actually
supplying
Pro
weapons to
Support, where
Kyiv,
we can
which
actually
is struggling to
contact
slow down and
support.
advancing
So we can
Russia.
click on Contact
Mr.
Support,
Trump
create
snubbed that
tickets, do
Mr.
all kinds of stuff.
Zelensky
That's
had
cool. That's worth
disrespected
it right
America
there.
in
Just
its
being able to
cherished
contact
Oval
support, reach out to
Office,
somebody.
and that
Very
he can
cool.
come back
I'm
when
going to go ahead and
he is
close
ready
that.
for peace, marked a
Referrals, if you
breakdown in
refer to
his
anybody, and I
relationship with the
think that's it.
Ukrainians.
Okay,
This,
that's it
unless
for the
reversed, could prove
Perplexity
costly for
Pro
Ukraine at a time
settings.
when it needed the support of
Let
its
me go to
allies.
profile, make
The
sure I'm not
tragedy of
missing
Ukraine
anything
is that
there.
it became a pawn
Nope,
in the
nothing in
great
there.
game
Okay,
between
and
powerful
now we
Russia
should
and
have
the
access to the
dominant US
API.
dominated North Atlantic
Use existing payment
Treaty
method
Organization.
for our
The
API
bloc
billing.
Kiev wanted
That's
to join.
fine.
When
Let me
Joe Biden
pause
was US
that and
president, he
see. Actually,
promised
since
to
we're not doing
support
API, it really
Ukraine
doesn't
as long
matter.
as it
So never
takes
mind.
the weapons
But
and training
it's
that the
supposed to give us some
US and
credits
Europe have
anyway, $5 a
provided to
month.
Ukraine,
So it says
helped
use the
it
same
mount an
payment
effective
method. I
resistance.
guess you still have to
But
get
the problem has
give it a
been
credit
that
card. Heck with it.
even
I'll
with
do it real
that
quick. Give me a
support,
sec.
Ukraine
Okay,
does
I
not
just
have a
did it.
path
Just click on
towards victory,
confirm.
and the
It uses
return
my
of
credit
Mr. Trump,
card.
who
It's
promised
giving
to
me the
shut down the
$5
war
bonus.
through the
And so I
reset
get a
with
pro
Russia,
bonus.
has meant
Pro
the
users are
end
awarded $5 of free credit
of
every
as
month,
long
so
as
that's
it takes
fine.
policy. Mr. Trump
And then I can
seems to
generate API
determine
keys and
to
do all
make
kinds
a
of
deal
stuff.
with
So
Russia,
very, very
while
cool. It's even got a
Ukraine wants
dashboard. We can view
security
the dashboard for
guarantees,
the
while
API.
Washington is
Looks like an
which
invoicing
Washington
portal
is
and some other
reluctant to
stuff going
provide.
on.
This is the
I do
main
have my
reason for
dark
rift.
reader on,
After
so
Oval
there you
Office
go.
spat, Mr.
Okay,
Zelensky
good.
was
Okay,
welcomed
cool.
in London by
Nice.
UK Prime Minister
All right,
Keir
so pretty
Starmer,
cool.
who
So there we
said
go.
Europe
So
must do
let's go
heavy
ahead and head on
lifting,
back to home.
but he also emphasized
And
that
now,
for
lest we
any European
forget,
plan to
we did all
succeed,
this so
it
that we
must
can
have
do
strong
attachments. So now I
US
should have
backing.
unlimited
So it
attachments,
is
attach whatever I
important for
want.
Ukraine and
That's
Europe to work
great.
with
What I'm
Trump
going to do
administration in
is I'm
negotiations
going to
with
attach a
Russia.
whole bunch of
And if
stuff.
America,
You can
until
either
2
click on the
months ago,
attach button, it'll open
was
a dialog
Ukraine's
for you to pick your
greatest
file, or
supporter,
you can just click and
abandons
drag
Kyiv, it
files
would only
over
hurt its
to the
reputation
attachment.
as
Now
global
notice
power.
it's got
The
Pro
US should
turned on, but I can actually
make
turn
sure
it
that
off if I
Ukraine's
want to, and I
security
do
concerns are
want to
adequately
for this
addressed
particular
in
example.
any
So with
final
Pro turned
agreement with
off,
Russia
I'm going to
and aimed
drag
at ending the
over
war and bringing
a
lasting
data
peace in
set
Europe.
of penguins. It's the famous
The
Palmer
televised
penguin
exchange
data set that
between
data
US
scientists
President
use.
Donald Trump
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say something
and
along the
Ukrainian
lines
President
of
Zelensky
do a full data clean and analysis of this data set
Zelensky
with
has
all
exposed
appropriate
the flaws in Mr. Trump's diplomatic
visuals.
approach, his visible frustration, abrupt decision
right, so I'm
cancel
going to leave it
mineral
intentionally
site
kind of vague
scale.
like this,
With
but I'm going to take
threats
that.
to
We're
withdraw
going to do it with
USK
regular search
highlights a lack of
first,
strategic foresight in finding
and then we'll do a pro search. So I'm kind of getting ahead of
responses
myself here. I'm
suspect
doing
that
attachments,
Ukraine show
And
More
then,
gratitude for
whoop, crap, I
American
forgot.
support
This would be a
when
great time to
pressuring
remind
Mr.
you
Zelensky to
to like,
consider a
comment, and
ceasefire without firm
subscribe
security
if you haven't
guarantees
already.
reflects a
I'm the worst at
transactional view
advertising
of
my channel.
diplomacy.
Yeah,
Such an
please take a
approach
minute to hit
ignores the
that like
reality that
button.
Ukraine is
If you would,
fighting for
please
its
subscribe. We'd love to
sovereignty
have you comment.
against an
Let me know what you're
aggressive
thinking.
Russia.
By
By
the way, we do have
prioritizing
membership
short-term
levels.
political gains over long-term global
ANI, our
stability,
official narrow
Mr. Trump
intelligence, level
risks
1,
weakening the US
$1.99 a month.
credibility
You get
among its
loyalty badges,
allies
emojis,
and
discounted
strengthening Russia's
merchandise.
position.
Plus,
Its
you get
erratic
access to
handling
my
of the
enterprise
situation
track where we're
underscores the
talking about
dangers of
things like,
impulsive
well, right
leadership
now,
in
we're in the midst of
geopolitics.
talking about Google
Instead of
Cloud and Vertex
reinforcing
AI. It's
Western
all AI
unity,
related,
Mr.
but we do
Trump's
it in the
actions have
context of Google
created
Cloud,
unnecessary
Microsoft
uncertainty
Azure,
at a
and
critical moment
AWS,
in
Amazon.
international relations.
So very,
Mr.
very cool
Trump is
stuff.
not
Then I
known
have
for
artificial
exercising
general
restraint
intelligence
in
level
word
2,
or deed,
$4.99 a month.
which was
You get
evident in
all
the
this
White
other
House
stuff
meeting.
plus, and
The
the main reason they
American
join,
leader played
in
his
addition to the
natural
enterprise
role
track,
as the
which any
disruptive,
membership level gets
overbearing
access
leader
to,
who
my
will
level
stop
2 folks
nothing to
get
steal
instant
an
access to my
advantage
videos
in a
as soon
deal
as I
from friend or
create them,
foe.
which
Mr. Zelensky is
all my
caught
level
in an
2s join for that reason,
unenviable
because,
position
I don't think you
between
do
the
it because
war
you want
on
to see
one
pictures of
side
my
and a
status updates.
reluctant main ally
And
on the
basically what
other.
that means, as soon as I pump these
Mr.
out, you
Trump
get
is
them.
doing
For
what is
example,
good for his
today is
country
July
and what he
7th.
promised
You're probably
to
going to
the
see this in
American
the middle of
people. The
July, towards
Ukrainian
the end of
leader
July.
deserved the dressing down
So,
as
my
he
level
held
2
back
folks just
on
don't like to
continuing
wait. They want
a
to have them
hopeless
as soon
war
as I
against a
pump it out. So
formidable
that's why
Russia.
we do these things. Because typically I'll do a whole series all at once,
Mr.
and they don't want to
Zelensky's
wait, the
rigidity will
days for the series. They'll just say,
bring
just give me
about a
all
total
the videos.
destruction and
All
devastation
right,
of his
that's it. We'd love
country.
to have you
Russia,
as a member.
Putin may even
Also, if
choose
you
to
like
use
AI
nuclear
news, check out
weapons.
my new channel,
Mr. Trump is
AI
not known
News
for
Fresh.
exercising
So,
restraint in word or deed,
youtube.com//
which was
at
evident
AI
in the
News
White House
Fresh.
meeting.
And
The
you can
American
see our
leader played
daily
his
AI
natural
news.
role as the disruptive,
Okay, let's get back to
overbearing
our regular
leader
scheduled
who will
programming.
stop
So I'm
nothing to
actually
steal
combining file
an
attachments and
advantage
ProSearch
in a
together.
deal from friend or foe.
I want to compare and
Mr.
contrast
Zelensky is caught in an
the two ways
unenviable
that they
position
work.
between the
So
war
right now I'm
on
doing
one
the
side
quick
and
search, the
reluctant
free search, if you will,
main
right?
ally on the
And
other.
here's how they define them. Perplexity defines them. They say quick search is designed for fast, straightforward answers. It provides immediate responses by quickly
Reflects a
summarizing relevant
transactional view of
information from
diplomacy.
index
Such an
sources.
approach ignores the
Whereas
reality that Ukraine
Pro
is
Search
fighting
goes
its
deeper into the
sovereignty
specifics
against
of your question.
an
It may ask
aggressor
follow up
Russia.
questions to
By
refine the search
prioritizing
and deliver
short-term
more
political
tailored
gains over
responses.
the
This
long-term
mode
global
is particularly useful
stability,
for complex queries that
Mr.
require
Trump risked
detailed
weakening the
answers.
US's
Free
credibility among
users,
its
blah, blah,
allies
blah,
and
blah.
strengthening
Well, we're
Russia's
not free
position.
anymore, we're pro. So there you have it. So they make
Australia,
a
the
distinction
partner
between
of
the two.
India's growth
And then they
trajectory.
go even further.
Australia believes in India. We
Our quick
believe
search
that
option is for
India has
fast and
bright
accurate
future
answers backed by
economically.
sources.
We believe
Perfect for when
that
you're looking
it
for a
will be the
quick,
third
efficient
biggest
information.
economy in the
But
world by
sometimes you need to
2030.
conduct a thorough,
And we
deep search
believe
across
that
the
India
internet
warrants
as if an
greater
expert
political
research
influence
assistant
as its
scoured the web
economy
and
grows,
returned a
and
comprehensive
that is
report and
why we
analysis.
back
That's
India's
where the
claim for a
newly
seat
upgraded
on a
Pro Search
US
comes
National
in. It
Security
delivers even
Council.
greater depth, precision,
We
and
also
comprehensive
believe that
insights.
Australia
Simply
is a
click the Pro
natural
toggle in
partner
the
for
search bar,
India's
ask a
growth
question, and watch
because our
Perplexity
economies are
explore every
complementary,
facet of your
reproduce the
query with
things
improved
India needs, and
accuracy.
vice versa.
Pro Search links
Because
to
we
a
are
broad range
strategically
of trustworthy
aligned and
sources
we are
that shows you the
neighbors just
step-by-step
across
process
the
behind
Indian
its
Ocean.
findings.
For
So that's
these
what Pro
reasons,
looks like.
Australian Prime Minister
And
Anthony
obviously
Albanese
you need
last
to
week
upgrade to do
personally
it.
launched a
And I
new
think
roadmap for
that
Australia's
is,
economic
yep. All right, so
engagement
now
with
we're going to do a
India. New
comparison of quick
roadmap for
search results
Australia's
versus Pro
economic
search
engagement with
results.
India.
By the way,
The
now that I have Pro, it
roadmap
should,
sets
and it's not
how
telling me, but I should
Australia
have
can
like
contribute
600
to
Pro
and
credits.
benefit from
Why is
India's
it not telling
phenomenal
me?
growth. Put simply, roadmap
Okay.
says
But yeah,
Australia
you're supposed
believes
to
in
get
the
like
Indian
600
growth
Pro
narrative,
credits. So,
and the
I mean, I've
roadmap
got
then goes
plenty,
on to
600 Pro
articulate how
credits a month.
Australia has the
All right,
skills,
so here we go.
resources, and the commitment to
With
support
doing it with
that
quick
narrative.
search, we're going to say
Roadmap
do a
builds
full
on
data
the
clean
successful
analysis of
effort from our
this data
last
set with all
economic strategy
appropriate
in
visuals. So it has the
2018,
file.
and
It's going to try to do a
a
full
lot
data
has
clean
changed
analysis.
since.
Here we go.
Fueled by our free
Boom.
trade agreement, the economic cooperation and
Copy
trade
that
agreement
again.
(ETCA), and the India-Australia relationship has grown at a
So it
high end
starts talking about what
of
it's
our
going to do.
expectations.
It's
Take
going to go
this
through the
one.
steps,
Thrilling
do exploratory data
statistics,
analysis.
India
We call it
exports to the
EDA,
world have
visualization,
grown by
and off
35%
it
in the
goes.
last 5 years. dollars.
It
Not
does
bad,
actually give
right?
me some
But India's
visualizations. They're
exports to
rough, but they
Australia have
work.
grown by
Adelaide Gen 2
66%,
chin strap. Very interesting.
nearly
Look at
twice
that.
as
These are
fast as India's exports
ASCII visualizations. Okay. It's
to
doing its
the rest
damnedest
of
to
the
give me
world.
visualizations. I got to give it credit for that. Okay, so that is what this looks like, and it even
That is
tells me the
because
model it's
India is
using,
growing in
435
ways that are
Sonnet. So I'm
complementary to
not sure.
Australia's own
I mean, I told
economy.
it not to use Pro, but it
Australia
may have actually
produces the
used Pro.
things that
Let's
India
find
needs
out.
for the next
Let's
chapter
go
of its
ahead
growth:
and now switch it
the
over to
energy
Pro.
to power the Indian
Same
economy,
exact,
the resources,
same exact task,
including the critical
same exact
minerals to
data
power
file,
India's
and
manufacturing
let's see the
drives,
difference.
and the training
All right,
capabilities
right
that
away,
India
notice the
needs to
difference.
scale up the
It
next
lays out the
generation
path.
of
Explore
Indian
the data set and
professionals.
understand.
The
It's doing some
roadmap charts
programming
the
here. See
next
there?
phase
It's
of our
writing some
partnership and
Python code.
showcases how
So it's
Australia
doing some
can be a part
programming.
of India's economic
Okay.
story.
Now
It
it's doing more
identifies four
programming,
sectors,
some
super
internal
highways of
programming, which
growth,
is kind of
where
cool.
Australia-India partnership is more prospective. Those highways of
It's
growth
looking
are
for
clean
missing
energy,
values.
education and
Got it.
skill,
It's
agribusiness and
analyzing the data
tourism. The
set now
roadmap
and
also
generating
describes
appropriate
another 7
visualizations.
major economic roads to mutual prosperity: investment, tech, sports, culture and arts,
Stop
resources,
there. I wonder if it
defense,
had an
space and
error or
health.
something else
These
happened.
are the
No,
fields
it
in
looks
which
like it
our
just
complementary
decided to just keep going. It's
capabilities
doing a
can
couple
be
of
most naturally
programming things.
leveraged. A
Looks like
great
it's creating
example
the
is India's
visualizations.
ambition for manufacturing
Let's
electric
see what the
vehicles.
visualizations are
When
going
the
to get.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi
So
talks
it's going
about
through
number of
figuring out
electric
what to
vehicles
make,
growing
apparently.
eightfold in India
All
by
right, here we go.
2030,
Moment of truth.
Australia
Is it
responds
going to
that
give
we
us
have
good
critical
visualizations
minerals
or
and
crappy
raw earth materials
visualizations?
to realize
So it
that
started
goal.
the data cleaning, the EDA,
Australia's
the
third
visualization,
largest lithium producer in the
statistical
world
analysis, data
and world's
cleaning.
second largest
Let's examine
reserves
the
of
data
nickel
set. So
and
right away
cobalt.
you can see
We are
it's
also
going way
listening
more in
carefully
depth.
to
It's giving us much
Indian
more
voices
detail about
about
what's
skill
going
needs,
on.
and we
Before
hear
cleaning, this
that
is what we
India
had.
needs to
After
equip
cleaning, this
2
is what we
crore
have. We
Indians
lost
every
about 10
year with the
records.
rightful skills and
Exploratory data
qualifications to
analysis. Here's what we
maximize its
did. There's
growth.
3 penguin
Australian
species.
universities
The
are
penguins were
listening
observed on
and
3
are gearing up
islands.
to
So
provide
it's
high
going deep
quality
into
training
that.
needed to
Now the
support Indian
visualizations,
ambitions.
right? Let's see what it
Australian
can produce.
universities have
Let's
been
create
the first
visualizations.
foreign
I can't
universities to
generate
open campuses
visualizations. I'll
here in
describe what
India,
they
in the
really.
Gift City,
Okay.
and
All
shortly
right.
in Noida, Uttar
That's
Pradesh.
interesting. So it looks like
Australia
maybe our
also
choice of
boasts a
model maybe
superpower when it
had
comes to
impacted
economic
this.
engagement in
I've got to
India.
know because
That
I
superpower
know
is the Indian
that
diaspora, already
Claude can't create the
10 lakh strong and the
visualizations,
fastest
but I
growing
know
population
that a
group in our
different model
country.
can. I
Many
know
of these Indian
ChatGPT can.
Australians
So
are
I'll tell you
prominent
what. Let's
leaders in
go.
business,
We're going to do the
government,
same
and the
thing
community.
with
And our
Pro.
new Center for Australia-India Relations, with 132 crore worth of support from our
And
government,
let's do it a couple
is
of ways.
appropriately
Let's
headed by
do
two
it
eminent
with
Australians of Indian
let's
origin.
do it with GPT 4.0. All right.
Our Prime
So let's
Minister
do it that
stood
way
beside
first.
one of them as he launched the
Same
roadmap.
exact question,
The Indian
same
diaspora in
exact
Australia
data.
is an
So your
invaluable
choice of
asset.
model may make a
Indian
difference. Looks like it's
Australians
just a
deepen
pretty
our
face on top of the
understanding of
model
each
at
other
this point.
and spark business
Here we
opportunities
go.
because our government
So it breaks
understands
it
the
down.
value of this human bridge. As Mr. Modi calls it, we are investing another
But the
22
thing
crore
is,
into
if
our
it's just
hugely
a
successful
pretty
Maitri
face
Giants
on top
program.
of
This program works to
ChatGPT or
maximize
Claude or anything
potential
like it
of our
appears to be
diaspora links.
doing,
The
see, I thought
roadmap
it would be doing
signals to
something cool
Australian
like,
business
okay, I can't do it
that
here,
they
but I'll
should
switch
look
over to
for
this other
future
model and do
further
it, or
opportunities to
something like
partner
that.
with
I
Indian
thought it'd be way
counterparts for
more
mutual
intelligent
benefit.
in the
And
pro
as they
space
do
than it
that,
is.
it becomes even more
Now,
important
granted,
that we
for
progress
20
our
bucks a month,
comprehensive economic
apparently I'm getting
cooperation
access
agreement,
to
building a
ChatGPT
higher
or Claude whenever I want. I can just
platform
switch
for the
between
next
them,
stage
so
of
I
our
guess that's
economic
cool.
partnership. As
But
the
I
Australian
really had higher expectations
By
here.
Prime Minister says, Australia's
So here you can
relationship
see
with
it's actually
India is
showing the code
stronger,
this time around.
deeper, and more consequential than it has ever been. But there is so much more to
Okay.
come. What
Yeah, it
is
didn't even
truly
show the
exciting is the sheer
visualizations.
scale of opportunities in the near
Oof.
future. If
That
we
is a
get
swing and a
things
miss
right
on
in the
that one,
past
man.
with this roadmap,
Okay,
the
well,
way
let's
ahead
give it the
looks
benefit of the doubt one more
a
time.
lot cleaner.
So yeah, I don't.
India's
I kind
burden
of
of
liked
rising
the free
obesity and
version because
hefty
it was
cost to pay.
free, but so
In the
far the
last 2
pro version
decades,
is
major
not impressing me at all.
epidemiological transition has
Should we go
happened.
with advanced
The
model trained
challenge of
by
overweight and
Perplexity on Llama
obesity.
370
NFHS 5
B?
suggests that nearly 1
Yeah,
in
because I
every
know
4
Opus
men or
isn't going to
women
beat
is obese.
Sonnet.
Proportion of those
So
who
we'll
are
try Sonar
overweight
large and then we'll try
and obese
default.
range
We
from
got to
8 to
do this. We got to see
50%
if
across states
it's
in
worth
both
it. Because
men and
right now I
women.
got to tell
World
you,
Obesity
it's
Foundation
not.
estimates India's
It's not
annual
doing
increase in
at
childhood
all what I
obesity is
expected. I'd say the
one of
best
the
thing was the
world's
Claude
steepest.
was the best answer, and that was
Overweight and
ASCII. You know, it
obesity
didn't
in
even give me
adults have
the good
doubled
stuff.
in last 15 years and
Let's give
tripled in
this one a
decades.
chance.
Nationwide studies has estimated estimated that among adults over 20 years of age, one in every third has abdominal obesity. Why the subject needs urgent attention? Because being overweight and obese is
So
often
yeah,
considered to
really
be a
wanted to
personal
do
issue. Also,
an
general
apples to
societal
apples
attitude
between
normalizes
quick search
obesity
and
or being
pro
overweight.
search.
Over the past few decades,
Let's
India
see what
has
it's going
made
to give
another
us. All right, so
positive
this looks kind of cool. All right, got
epidemiological
it.
shift from being
Okay,
food or
no
calorie deficient to
visualizations.
becoming
Okay,
food
says
or
it's
calorie
going to,
sufficient.
but it
Yet the
doesn't give us
state of food
visualization. So
security and
no
nutrition
visualizations.
estimated that around
So the quad was the
55%
best one, I
78
think.
crore could not afford a healthy
I
diet,
think
and
we want to
nearly
try the default,
40% of
right? That's
people
the only one
fall
we haven't
short of an
tried,
adequate
just to be
nutrient
fair.
diet.
So
Low
let's go
cost
ahead and
availability
try
of
the
high fat,
default. Go back
sugar,
home
and
and
ultra
one more
processed
time.
food, high high
But
cost
I think the
low
conclusion
cost
here is going to
availability of
be
high
I
fat
can't
salt
honestly
sugar.
say pro's
The
worth it
think
at this
fat
point.
Indian
I'm
is
not.
scientifically
I mean, when I
validated
say worth it,
hypothesis that
it just
Indians
doesn't seem
without
like it's
normal
worth it as
body
compared to me
BMI
just
mass
going straight
index
to ChatGPT and using the
have
data.
higher
Other
body fat.
than now,
Indians
here's where it gets
with
interesting.
normal
If I
body mass
wanted to
index
use
have a
Claude
higher
3.5
body fat.
but
The common soil
give it data
hypothesis
from the internet, that might
highlights
be its saving
obesity as a
grace because
cause
right
and a
now
risk for
Claude 3.5
diabetes.
can't go
Obesity
to
and
the internet. But that's going to
overweight
change.
are
Eventually, it will
estimated
go to the internet. So
3.54 million
again, once
deaths
that
in the
happens,
world.
is Perplexity going to be worth it?
Without
ChatGPT can
sufficient
already go to the
interventions, it
internet.
is estimated that economic burden is
So
likely
I
to
really wanted to
increase
throw something kind of harder at it,
4,700
see
per
what it could
capita
do.
by
But
2030.
right now, it's I
India's
mean,
economic
it's
survey
generating
takes note
code.
of
It's clearly
obesity as an
generating the
emerging
code that
health
would
challenge,
create the
recommending
images
higher
that we can
taxation
have.
on
But it's
ultra-processed
not.
foods.
It's just not.
Khelo India, Fit India, Eat Right campaigns.
See, I really
Has been
expected
public
something
discourse
more.
also for
And
reduction
that's
in cooking oil
maybe that's
use.
because I'm not
There are
playing to his
initiatives
strength.
which
Maybe that's
place
because I'm
fat
giving
too
it a
much
chunk of data and telling
of
it
a
to do this
responsibility of an
thing. And
individual.
its strength is it's a search
Tackling
engine.
needs a
So,
multi-pronged
okay.
approach.
But just
First,
so you have a frame of
start a
reference,
nuanced
this is
societal
what it looks
dialogue.
like if you do the
Second,
same
more
thing
must be
in
done to promote
ChatGPT.
and facilitate regular
Right? So
physical
if I do the
activity.
exact same thing
Third,
in
high fat,
ChatGPT,
salt, sugar,
take a
and
file.
ultra processed products are major contributors to
Is it
rising
going to.
burden
There
of
it goes.
overweight and
Okay.
obesity. These food items
Right?
need to be taxed at a higher
I
rate.
mean,
Fourth,
it gives
the
me the
weight,
code,
height, and waist
plus it gives me the
circumference measurement
visuals.
has to be integral part of
So I was
all health
kind of
visits
expecting that.
and checkups. Fifth, anti-obesity medicines are being
So it starts
licensed
handling
in
the missing
various
values. I mean, it
settings.
goes to
There
town.
is a need for developing and
It's really
disseminating clinical
and it's super
practice
damn
guidelines.
fast. Look how
Six,
fast that
every
thing's going.
office and workplace need to
So
raise
from a
awareness
comparison
about healthy
standpoint, I
weight
gotta
in
say,
workforce.
I
And
like
seven, schools and
Perplexity
colleges should
free,
engage in knowledge sharing on
but
healthy
Perplexity
eating
Pro,
habits.
yeah, look at those visuals.
Eight,
Look how pretty
obesity
those are.
prevention
Just
requires multiple
insanely good
ministry
visuals.
engagements.
It's
And
about to do a
nine, the
pair
research
plot.
community, medical and
And
public health
I was hoping it
officials
would at
need to
least
generate
pass the visuals
additional
back, even if it's
evidence
just a pretty
including
face on top of
epidemiological
it. I was hoping
data
it would pass the
on
visuals back. Don't worry about that. You get that all the
overweight and
time. There you go.
obesity.
There's my pair plot. Pretty
10th,
cool.
eating healthy is
All
becoming
right,
more
so I'll
expensive
stop
than
that. But you
eating
get the
junk food.
idea. So
Food
you see why
industry,
I'm
especially
kind of
online food
disappointed.
delivery
Now, let's
platforms,
try
must
something different
facilitate
though.
healthy eating.
Because what if I want to combine the if I want to
High Court
combine
halts
Claude
ACB
3.5
action
Sonnet
against
with
ex
internet data,
SEBI chief.
right? So let's
Supreme
see if
Court
that
seeks
maybe is the
steps
kicker.
against vulgarity.
So
Online humor is an art.
how would
Humor
we
is
do that?
something that entire family can enjoy.
Get
Nobody
data
feels
on
embarrassed. That is talent.
penguins
Using filthy language is not
and
talent.
then
Talent is using
analyze
ordinary words to
it
produce humor.
and
We
give
have
me
excellent
the
comedians in
results.
Bollywood, writers
All
of
right,
humor.
so let's see if it's going to go out and search. Okay, so it's searching.
Supreme Court to examine
So the search
pleas
part
against
is,
rules on
it's going
blocking
off and grabbing
of
the
online
data.
content without
So
notice.
that's good. It's got internet. Now should pass it to
India launches a multi-nation alliance on
Claude Sonnet.
collaboration on sustainable
So
development
okay.
C3, cities
So
coalition
it's
on
a
circularity,
I
cities
guess that's
coalition on
kind of an
circularity,
approach.
a city-to-city
Still not
collaboration, knowledge
super
sharing, private
impressed with it,
sector
but
partnerships.
yeah, it is
This
what it is.
forum would
Okay.
provide critical platform for
Let's
policymakers,
see what it
industry
spits
leaders,
out. I
and
got to see the
researchers
detail.
to discuss and
Okay, so
implement
it's got our
sustainable
sources again.
solutions.
Yay. And so it does a regular search. Very nice. Okay, so this is kind
External
of
Affairs
cool.
ministers visit
It's
UK,
found
Ireland
some
to visit strengthen bilateral
found some
ties.
visuals there. I don't know if
Study
I
finds
don't think it generated those
6,300
because it can't
candidate
generate
dolphins
visuals.
across
Where
4
these visuals
states.
come from?
ISRO released second set of scientific data from Aditya
Yeah, this
mission
is the Palmer station, so it just found them online.
about
But
Sun's
that's kind of
photosphere,
interesting.
chromosphere,
Okay,
and
all
outer
right. I
corona.
gotta say, not super impressed. And again, for
High
those
Powered
of you who use
Defense
Perplexity
Committee
a lot,
identifies key
leave
thrust areas
a
for
comment. Let me
modernization of
know if maybe
IAF,
I'm missing something big,
empowered
but this is
Committee
the
of
kind of stuff
Capability Enhancement
that
of
I
the
would
Indian
want to
Air
do with
Force,
it, right?
long-term
Now,
measures,
let's just try a regular old search,
recommendations for
right?
medium and
See
long-term
see the difference
measures.
between that and this. Let's
Recommendations will
say
be looked in a holistic manner. High-powered committee
explain
report
the
also underscores
latest
the need for
research
impetus to enhance Atmanirbharta in the
on
aerospace domain with the private sector
AI
complementing the efforts
chips.
of defense public sector undertakings and the DRDO.
Okay, latest research should
The
focus on
Defense
developing more
Minister
powerful parallel
appreciated the work of the
processing.
committee and
Okay, so this is
recommended
free, right?
recommendations be
So this is a
followed in a
straight up
time-bound
search
manner.
exercise. Not
Indigenization will
doing
be a
anything
key
special. So this
aspect
is
with
what free
significant
looks like.
involvement of the private sector
Now
to bring in
let's
efficiency and
do
ramp
paid.
up
Let's do
capacities. The
pro.
committee was formed on the directions of
Let's see what
Defense
pro
Minister to
looks like.
holistically examine all issues and prepare a clear plan of action. Report
Okay.
was meant to submitted by the end
All
of
right, checks out a
January.
bunch of websites.
IAF is currently 31
Okay.
fighter squadrons as against
Novel
sanctioned
materials and
strength of
architectures.
42.5, while deliveries of
Okay,
light
good.
combat aircraft Mark 1A were delayed. Several of the
Okay,
existing
so it's
fighter
more
jets such as
detailed. Looks like
Jaguar,
it's going a
MiG-29
little
UTG
deeper.
and Mirage
Okay,
2000
is
will
it worth
also
20
be
bucks a
phased
month?
out by the end of this
Still
decade.
don't think so. All right, let's move on.
Bigger
So that
and
was
more
quick search
capable
results.
LCA Mark II is
Now,
under
in addition
development,
to
while
that,
PMCA is at least a
there are
decade
some
ago.
other
IAF
pro
must
features
at
that are
least
enabled I
add
want to talk
35 to
about.
40 fighter jets every
Let's see
year.
here. Let's go back and look at this one. AI chips. Remember we had search images where it would search for images of chips, search videos where it would search for videos about AI chips, and then last but certainly not least
February
was
manufacturing
generate
PMI
images. You
slips
see it down
on
here at the bottom? Oh,
slowdown
there we
in
go.
sales
Generate
growth.
images. That's a pro feature, so let's see what that looks like. Generate
Bangladesh has
images. Choose a
experienced a
style, painting, photograph,
paroxysm
diagram,
of
or
violence
illustration.
last year.
Let's do photograph.
Austria's unlike conservative
And so
chancellor
it looks like it's doing something
Stalker
up
takes
here,
office.
probably trying to generate an image
Zelensky
based on
does
the
not want
information it has here.
there to
Okay,
be
there
peace,
you go.
says Trump.
There's an image, and it looks like it created it with Playground. Very nice. Okay. All right, let's try that with something else. Let's
Research
see
team
here.
takes big step towards making a Bose
I think those are the
metal.
only threads we have. Let's see if let me go back to our other threads.
Every metal has a finite conductivity, a
Platypus. Here
measure
we
of
go. Let's
how
do a platypus.
well it conducts in
Okay.
particular
Images,
conditions. It
videos. Let's
changes when
generate
the
an
metal is
image.
heated or
Again, I kind of like
cooled.
the
For
photograph. Well, let's
example,
do a
at
painting.
pleasant 20 degrees
Painting of a
Celsius,
platypus.
electrical conductivity of zinc is roughly
So essentially, it's just going to take that
16.9
data,
million
feed it
Siemens
to
per
the image
meter, but
generation,
if
and
it is
do
cooled
Gen
at
AI. Okay,
273, its
there's our.
conductivity
Ooh,
becomes infinite.
that's a
This is
scary looking
because at this
platypus.
temperature, zinc becomes a superconductor,
Okay,
able to
but it will
conduct
generate
electric
images. So
current
very
with zero
cool.
resistance.
Very cool. All right, I
Scientists
can live with
know
that.
many
That's
metals
cool.
that
That's a
have
cool
finite
feature.
conductivity at room
Now, if we
temperature
go
and
to
infinite
any
at
particular
very low
thread,
temperatures. This drastic change in behavior is because
one of the
something
things
happens to the metal's
that we
electrons.
should
At room
have,
temperature, electrons in the grid
let's
of
see
zinc metal
here.
move
Here we
freely
go.
throughout the
This
metal,
is a new
transporting
feature. Now check
electricity.
this out.
If a voltage is
You see
applied,
here it
each
says convert to
electron
page.
itself repels other
So
electrons and is
when
also
you do a
acted on by
search,
forces imposed
one of the
by the
pro
3D grid of
features is to
electrons
create
around it,
pages.
including
Now, a search is
vibrations in the
basically
grid
just a dump
impurities in
of
the
data,
metal.
right?
When the grid is
But
cooled
if
to
you want to
low
make this
temperature,
data
many of these
available to
forces
more
weaken,
people
and
and in a
under
cleaner
critical temperature,
format,
in
you
zinc
can
case,
use pages.
net
Now, that
force
is a
on
pro
electrons
feature.
is weakly
So if I click
attractive.
on convert to
That is,
page,
electrons are mildly attracted
it
to
will
each
actually
other
take
across
it
large
and turn it
distances,
into
and beyond short
a
ranges, they
page,
still
kind of like this.
repel each
It'll
other.
format it
This
a
net
lot
force
better. It
causes
gives
the
it
electron
a
to
table of
pair up without getting
contents.
closer,
See what it's doing? It's got its
and together
sources.
behave
Just
in a
clean
way
it
that
up quite
individual
a bit
electrons
for
can't.
presentation
These
with other
pairs are called
folks.
Cooper pairs. Thanks to the low
Which is kind of
temperature,
cool. So
at some
it's
point,
cranking. It's still
these
going.
pairs of
It's
electrons
still
undergo a
generating
phase
it.
transition, forming an exotic state of
It's
matter
not perfect, but
within a
it's
zinc
actually pretty
grid
good.
called a
And then you have
superconductor.
the option of
It is
adding
this
media,
superconductor
inserting
that has infinite
sections. You
conductivity.
can modify the layout. You can edit it. So you're basically
Now,
making a web
metals
page out of
that
this that
don't
you're going to
become
share with somebody.
superconducting at
That's the
very low
idea. Once you're
temperatures still
done,
become
you can
better
then publish
conductors because
it.
the forces that resist the flow of electric current also weaken at low
You can either
temperatures.
do,
Current
I've
here
got the
refers
link
to a direct
copied, it's
current.
been published. I can publish it to Twitter, WhatsApp, or whatever. It's basically the same thing
Some
as
metals or
sharing a
metallic
link to
substances
your
do
thread,
something weird.
only now
Below
it
the
creates a
critical
much, think of it as
temperature, their
a
electrons
much
experience
prettier
net
version
attractive force and
of
pair
a
up,
thread that you
but then they
can,
don't
be
condense to
proud
form a
and
superconductor. That is,
organize and
the
share
material
in a
doesn't
variety of
become a
ways. So
superconductor
pages
but
are
just a
quite
better
interesting.
conductor, and it conducts
And I think
electricity with
that
Cooper
actually
pairs,
might
not
be one
just
of the reasons you
electrons.
decide to go pro, if you're sharing
Some
information with
metals or
people a lot
metallic
of the time,
substances do something weird below the
and
critical
you need to look
temperature.
up information and just have it
Their
available,
electrons
this might
experience
be
the net
the key
attractive
feature
force
for you.
pair
It's
up,
definitely
but they
one
don't yet
that I would
condense to
use if
form a
I needed to
superconductor.
produce this
That
information
is,
all
the
the time.
material doesn't become a superconductor
All
just
right. I
but just better
believe that's
conductor, and it
it.
conducts electricity with Cooper
As long as
pairs,
we're
not just
here, I guess I
electrons.
can go to edit
In the state,
page.
material is said
You
to
see here,
have
add
become a
section,
Bose
add
metal.
media.
Bose
There's
metal is kind of
sections,
an
all kinds of good
anomalous
stuff.
metallic
I can
state.
change the
Anomaly is
layout.
that Cooper metals
Large
are
header
formed
image,
but don't
small header
condense into a
image,
superconductor.
all
In
kinds of good
technical
stuff. There we
terms,
go.
they
I
fail
think
to
I like small
establish
header image
long-range
better.
superconducting coherence.
No header image, okay. And then I'm in edit mode,
It
add
is important to
sections,
understand disordered metals
and
where
on
grid
and
of
on and on it
atoms has
goes.
irregular structure.
So,
Disordered
yay. I'll let
metals
you
have
play with
deviant
that.
properties which
And I
we don't
believe
fully
that's
understand.
it. I think we've
Bose
covered
metal
off on
challenges
just
this
about everything
description.
Perplexity has to offer at this point. If I missed something major, I apologize, but that's
The
kind of the
team
end of
used
it.
Raman spectroscopy to
So you
find
decide. Certainly, the free version I think is absolutely worth it. Whether or not you go to paid, I think is going to depend on a number of factors. I think it could be worth it for some use cases.
Hall
For other
resistance.
use cases, and
When a
notably
piece of
mine,
regular
where I'm
metal
doing
is
more
passed
data
through
science
magnetic
stuff,
field and the current is passed through it, the
I
piece
don't know.
develops
Jury's still
voltage in
out. I'm going to keep the
perpendicular
pro version for the
direction.
month,
Resistance
try it,
associated with the
and make
voltage
up
is
my
called
mind
Hall
later on.
resistance.
You do the same. All right, everybody.
Spheric
I hope you
machine.
enjoyed the journey. This is Zane. I'll see you next time.
Spheric short for spectrophotometer for the history of universe, epoch of reionization, and Ice Explorer.
Generating
It
images
will look
using
within our
diffusion.
galaxy
What is
for
that?
reservoirs
Right.
of water
So I should probably
frozen on
find
the
out.
Is this
surface
things
of
like
interstellar
DALL-E
dust
and
grains,
DALL-E
large
2,
clouds.
yeah, Imogen from Google, Stable Diffusion now as well. I've spent quite a long time messing about with Stable Diffusion. I'm having quite a lot of fun with that. So what I thought I'd do is I'd download the code, I'd
So
read the
that's
papers,
all.
work out what's
See you
going
in the
on, and then
next
we
one.
can talk about it. I delved into this code and realised there's actually quite a lot to
Supreme
these
Court
these
seeks
things. Right? It's not so much that they're
regulation
complicated;
steps
it's just there's a lot of moving parts.
vulnerability online.
So let's just have a quick reminder of generative adversarial networks, which are, I suppose, before now the standard way for generating images, and then we can talk about how it's different and why we're doing it using diffusion.
MP
Having a
government
network
planning
or
to
some
privatize
deep network
40%
trained to just
of
produce the same
forest
image
use
over and over again,
Congress.
not very interesting. So we have some kind of random noise that we're using to make it different each time. We have some kind of very large generator network, which is, this is just, I'm going to, this is black box.